Ebony, I want to welcome you and thank you for your agreeing to this interview.
Oh, you're amazing. I need to take you with me everywhere.
Maybe I can become your publicist.
Right? Yes.
Right? So, Ebony, it is not uncommon, as you well know, to have someone after their first or second yoga say, you know, this is really changing my life. Yeah. And I know you have told me that about your own life and about some of the early stresses and strains of growing up and the kind of life you were leading at the time and the life change that you made. And I think you even said that yoga may have saved your life.
Yeah,
I think you told me that. Could you elaborate a bit on that point?
Oh, man, definitely. Yoga definitely saved my life. It definitely gave me a platform to meet myself. I don't think before I came onto the mat that I knew who I was, that I was always trying to be somebody else, you know, always trying to please somebody else or be somebody else's idea of what they thought I should be. And when I got onto the mat, I met myself for the first time. I started practicing yoga when I was pregnant with my first daughter, Zoe. And she's 7 now. But the only thing I know about being pregnant at that time is that I want to have a natural childbirth. And I learned about that from Ricky Lake because she had a natural childbirth.
Yes.
And so I found a doula, and my doula was like, hey, you should try yoga because it's going to prepare your body. And so that's how I started practicing yoga. And so even when I stepped into the space and there was nobody that looked like me because I'm plus size, or I like to call it super sexy, but you know, the people call it plus size.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I would agree with that first description.
And there was nobody of color that was in that space. I still felt comfortable in the uncomfortable. And I was like, oh man, if I can learn to feel comfortable, even in things that are uncomfortable to me, this is amazing. And so, you know, that's just really how that journey started and how it began to transform my life and how I thought about myself and how I thought about other people and how I took care of myself and how I took care of other people. And I felt like, if yoga can heal, then why in the world is it not accessible to everybody? Yes. The people who need it the most, the people who live in my neighborhood, the people who don't have access to yoga studios, who don't have access to nutrition because they live in food deserts. How is this something so powerful, inaccessible to the people who need it the most? Not that everybody doesn't need yoga, but seriously, if you can afford it, you got it.
You know, your point about no one like me does yoga, we run into that a lot, not only in the African-American community, but among men, for example. So elaborate a little bit on the fact that everybody, if you can take a breath, you can do yoga.
Yeah.
It's all about breathing. It's not about being able to do the pose correctly.
It's not about those crazy poses that you see on Instagram. You know, I try to stay away from like doing headstands on Instagram because that steers people away because it's not what the practice is about. It's about focusing on your breath. It's about being in tune with yourself, listening to yourself and knowing what it is that pleases you and how you can go out and how you can serve the world, and yoga can help you get in touch with that. You know, it's so funny when guys say, oh, I don't want to do yoga, you know, yoga's for women, but yoga was invented by men. For centuries, only men could do yoga. And so it's such a strong and an upper body strength, and you know, men have upper body strength. Like, it's just weird for me to hear them say that, but I understand that. I would say that to men, 2 things. Yoga was invented by men, and there are a lot of women in yoga. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't be.
Now you're getting to the heart of the matter.
Right.
Yes.
I don't understand why you wouldn't be coming to yoga, and you know, and if that's the only thing that drives you, that's cool, because when you come, it's going to feed your soul, and that's the point. You know, so I would say to anybody who has any stereotypes about their religion, about their weight, about the color of their skin, or you know, that it's all good, man. Yoga is for everybody.